Hi, and welcome to Surviving in Denmark. In some of my videos I've been showing a paracord bracelet that I made. I have only seen this kind of weave in one other video. I've seen other fast deploy bracelets, but I think this is really easy to make, so I wanted to show you in a video how I made this. Here first in the video you can see I just recently deployed the bracelet, and I had to put it back together to show you in this video. And I found that if you have had paracord weaved for a long time, it gets wrinkled and kind of hard to make the weave again. So I had to wash it and stretch it out so it was totally straight. But after that I was ready to show you how it's made. Here in the start of the video you can see I'm pointing to the simple knot there. After I've opened that, I just have to open the weave from the buckle, and as soon as it's free from the buckle, one more string, yeah, and then I can just pull the single string and it will unzip. Yeah, as you can see here. I've been told that the method I'm using is actually very similar to normal crocheting. So I've actually learned something from the internet that I didn't expect to, making clothes. But maybe more on that on a later point. Here you can see how much paracord there actually is in a single bracelet. It's a bit thicker than most survival bracelets I've seen. But yeah, let's get started. I have one part of the buckle, and I've made a simple knot to keep it there, and then I've made 4 loops. The reason I made 4 is that's how many loops I can fit into this kind of buckle. If I had a bigger buckle, I could put more in. Then I simply take a loop of the length of paracord and slide it into the 4 loops on the buckle all the way through. And when it's through the last of the 4, I'll have a new loop sticking out on one side. And here comes the fun part. First and foremost, the first loops you will have to tighten them up, otherwise it will look kind of bad. But here you can see I'm pulling the long end of the paracord out, so I'll get 4 new loops. I'll have 1 on the side and 3 pointing away from me. It should look a bit like Mickey Mouse's hand. The next part, and this is the part that I normally make my mistakes, is that you have to weave it in the same direction all the time. So you have to really look where the long part of your paracord is sticking out. When you have your little Mickey Mouse hand, you have to take the new loop you are weaving through, and you have to, if you're going from the right, as I'm weaving here, you have to go up over the first part of the loop and in through it, and then up over the next loop into that, up over and into that, and then you should have the final loop, and then you make your Mickey Mouse hand again, open it up so you have 4 new loops, make a new loop of the long part of the paracord and sew that through all the 4 loops, and just keep on tightening it when you have the first of the new loops. When it's completely tightened as you want it, you make the 4 new loops, and you just continue this until you run out of paracord or you reach the length you want. The reason why I like this kind of paracord bracelet is that most of the paracord bracelet that you buy is woven using weaves that are really hard to open after they have been made. Most of them you actually need some kind of tool to open. even those pliers or a big needle or something like that. And my thought is, if you are in a situation shitty enough that you actually need to this last item to survive, then you are not in a position to open it. I can see the allure of having extra equipment right at your hand on your bracelet, such as fishing hooks and a small compass or something like that. But most of the things you actually can put into a survival bracelet like that, they're simply too small to have any real use. The only thing I can find anywhere near useful is the buckles that have fire steels built into them. I have a buckle with a whistle. I can link to some buckles also with the fire steels in. It's not necessary to spend a lot of money for a bracelet that you most likely will never open, and if you open it, most likely can't weave again because you haven't tried it before. And again, if your fingers are frozen, if you're fallen into water, if you're caught out in a cold situation, if you have a head injury, you are most probably not going to open the bracelet unless you have really trained it or just a much better person than me. So here you only have to open one simple knot and then pull, and then the entire bracelet opens. The most important bit I found is that you have to find the balance between having it too tight or too loose. If you make it really tight, it will be hard to weave, but it will look pretty, and you can fit more paracord into it. But if you make it loose, it will look silly, and maybe even get snagged into your gear and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that some of you will find a better way to fix the second part of the buckle, but I simply just took the last bit of the free paracord, put it in through the buckle, and then through a loop, continue this again until I get to the end, and then I ended off by taking the final bit of paracord and putting back in through all the loops I just connected to the buckle, thereby making one long knot. There is probably a much prettier way to do this, but it works for me, and it's really simple to open again. As you can see in this example, I have a little bit too much paracord left because I made a better weave this time than I did the last time. But you can cut it off, or you can just weave it through the next line of loops. And but the important part of this weave is that it's easy to open, and you can do it in almost any situation. And again, when you have done this a couple of times, I can make this kind of weave while I'm watching TV with no problem. When you've made it, open it again, test it out. I've made a belt using the same method for my 5 pound challenge, and that's a lot of paracord you can have in a belt. And if you make it wider than 4 loops, you could make it 5, 6. There's actually no limit how wide you will make it. It's just dependent on what kind of buckle you use. Or you could take a piece of leather, punch hole through that, and affix a buckle to that. So please, if you found this video interesting, give it a like, subscribe if you want more. I make a new video for every 10 subscribers I get. And if you have any comments, please comment. I love when people come and tell me I'm doing stuff wrong, or if they can make some kind of improvement on it. So until next time, I have already planned 4 more videos. So have a good experience enjoying the nature that we have.